Krista Belle from the Seal Nation, who's living and working in Berlin and Vienna. And Krista Belle is a citizen of the Seal Nation. She works primarily with video, photography, sculpture, and performance, drawing out personal and political narratives inherent in archival materials, while questioning their articulation in institutional histories. She has had solo exhibitions at the Goethe Institute, Seattle, Museum of Contemporary Art, Toronto, Nanaimo Art Gallery, the Künstlerhaus in Bethanien, Berlin, Tech Gallery at Simon Fraser University in Vancouver, the Mercer Union as part of the 28th Images Festival in Toronto, and her group exhibitions include the Kunstverein in Hamburg, Eva International in Limerick, Bonniers Kunstel in Stockholm. You're corrected my German pronunciation here, and the CTM Festival in Berlin, the International Studio and Curatorial Program in Brooklyn, the Musée d'Art Contemporain in Montreal, and the Vancouver Art Gallery. Screenings and performances include MoMA's Museum of Modern Art's documentary Fortnight in New York, Union Docks in Brooklyn, 221A Gallery in Vancouver, the Plug-in Institute in Winnipeg, and Haus der Kulturen der Welt in Berlin. Her work is currently part of Galerie Barbara Thum's online platform, New Viewings, and she's an MFA graduate for the Milton Avery Graduate School of the Arts at Bard College, and is presently a PhD in practice candidate at the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna. Please join me in welcoming Krista Belle.
Okay, sorry, I'm just going to start this. White Hustel Halt, in Chai Squeezed Krista Belle Stewart. Hello, my name is Krista Belle Stewart. I'm very happy to be with all of you here today. Kukukst Limlimpt, Tania Willard, for inviting me to be part of the Indigenous Art Intensive. Thank you for all the work that you do. I'm so grateful to you for all the support you've given me throughout the years. Also, thank you for sharing the smoked fish and venison yesterday. It's real medicine to my soul. Kukukst Limlimpt to the team as well, for the warm welcome to campus, especially to Carmen and Yaya. It's very good to be back in Syilx territory. I grew up in the Syilx Nation. More specifically, I am from Spachaman, which is otherwise known as Douglas Lake. I am a proud member of the Upper Nicola Band. Currently, I live in Vienna and Berlin. I guess I should start this. Let's just play this. There we go. So my return back home is emotional and necessary, as I haven't been back home since September of last year. I still feel a bit of jet lag, as there's a 9-hour time difference between where I was and where I am now. I was saying to Tania and Dion yesterday that my spirit is still in Berlin and my body is here, so this applies to today as well. I am very tired, by the way. I wrote this all down, and usually I will get into it. It's just I am catching up with myself. As I said, I am from Spachaman, and I grew up within my community until I was 19 years old. Since leaving my community in 1999, I've lived in many places, mostly in the pursuit of an education. Growing up in Spachaman, I went to school on my reservation with my cousins at Nicola School. I then attended Merritt Secondary School for a high school education, but left before fully graduating. I had 2 courses to complete, but I found the environment to be too racist and discouraging. I experienced discrimination, and even though, as mentioned, I had only 2 classes to finish, I dropped out. That didn't stop me from learning. I still had a spark in me that wanted to learn, and so I enrolled into a private photography school in Victoria. So from 1999 to 2000, I attended the Western Academy of Photography. It was a private program that didn't require a high school diploma. In 10 months' time, I finished the program and became a certified professional photographer. After finishing the program, I moved, of all places, to Denmark because I fell in love with a young Danishman. While I was in Europe, I traveled and did the backpacking thing. I saw a lot of museums and famous artworks. As a young 20-something-year-old, I was very inspired and wanted to learn more about the art world. So I went back home and moved to Kamloops to finish my high school education and receive what's called an adult dogwood diploma. The 2 courses that required me to graduate was successfully completed in 1 month, and from then on, I enrolled into the BFA program of what was then called the University College of the Cariboo, and now called TRU. So I completed my first year of studies as a young art student and transferred to what was then Emily Carr Institute of Art and Design in 2003. So from 2003 to 2006, I majored in photography and completed the program. After this, I had various jobs and questioned a life in the arts. I wasn't sure how to be an artist or what I was making was good enough to be classified as art even. So in around 2009, I attended a residency at the Banff Center. It was a thematic residency called Archive Restored with Greg Statz. From then on, I met artists along the way. I became friends with artists Jeffrey Farmer and Brian Youngin. From 2010 to 2012, I assisted them in their studios and exhibition installations. It was working with them where they encouraged me to become an artist. I learned a lot from them, and to this day, they are still my mentors and friends. I am very grateful to them both. In 2013, I started my MFA at Bard College in upstate New York. It was there I started with a CBC drama documentary called Seraphine, Her Own Story. Most of my work's derived from familial archives. It's very personal. And so throughout this practice of mine, and throughout the years I've been making my work, it's like these questions of ethics come into play. And what I'm showing you right now, and what you have been seeing, are videos depicting my collaboration with my family. Sorry, this is really, it's not playing, but. So the videos you were just watching were moments of me with my family in Spachman. And so throughout the years I've been making work, a lot of it is connected to archives, as I was saying, and it deals with familial archives. Seraphine is a project I started in 2009 when I was invited to the Banff Center, as I said, and as I was on this journey from Vancouver to Banff, I stopped off in Spachman to visit my family, my folks. And my mother stopped me as I was entering the car. Literally, it was this moment of, wait! And she handed me this VHS cassette tape. So on the side, I looked at the description, and it was written, CBC, Seraphine, Her Own Story, 1967. And I looked at it, and she looked at me, and I looked at her, and I said, what is this? And she said, oh, is this a documentary made of me in the 1960s? And I thought, whoa, like, you think you know somebody. So as I was on this journey to Banff to be part of this residency called Archive Restored, I had this cassette tape, this VHS, and never heard of it, never saw it. And then when I arrived, my mom, all she wanted was just for me to make a digital copy of this for her to share with my brothers and my nephew and my nieces. So when I arrived to the Banff Center, I looked at this document, and it was this incredible 28-minute long docudrama. And it's called a docudrama because she reenacts her life. And it's a story of a young Indigenous woman leaving the residential school system and pursuing a higher education. And it was quite emotional to watch this work, this document, which was only aired once on CBC in 1967 for a program called Camera West. And I mean, this particular program had other documentaries connected to, I don't know, it was very strange. It was like very West Coast, like LSD testing, immigration, hypnotism. And alongside all of those categories, my mom's story was part of it. And so it's an incredible document. And it was also amazing to see her as a 26-year-old. Also, like, because you're reenacting your life, she's also an amazing actress in this. And it was quite shocking to me to see this because my dad is also in it. One of my uncles, many cousins are in it, and also my oldest brother at the very end. So I thought out of most of my works that I've made that I would share 2 projects with all of you. This particular piece means a lot to me because it's a story of my mom. And I gave a talk here a few years ago. I showed the whole entire work. Since 2009, I had been thinking about how does one work with this material, how does one work with this kind of special archive. So in 2013, it took this amount of time to work with this. I supported my parents, who both went to the Kamloops Indian Residential School. And as part of, in 2013, across the whole nation, there was the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in major cities across Canada. So I was there in Vancouver to support my folks, and it was really traumatic. And as I was there supporting them, as a survivor, there was an option. So part of the TRC and the agenda of that was to allow us to open up a space for these conversations to exist. But also they thought it was important to create an archive of these stories of survivors. So survivors had an option, 2 options, of having their stories documented as a group setting or an individual setting. And so my mom decided to have an individual interview to document her story. And it was after that she handed me this DVD. Again, she hands me this document, and she says, I'm giving you my story. And my mom's been so generous in terms of this moment of me discovering her past and working through this with her. It was quite healing for both of us. So in 2013, I watched her testimony, and it took, of course, more time to develop this project further. So 2 more years after, I'm looking at this CBC documentary, and I'm looking at my mom's TRC testimony. And it was through the editing, many different iterations, many different ways, that I finally came up with this particular version, Seraphine from 2015. So what I'm about to show you is a little snippet. It's an excerpt from the very beginning. It's about 4 minutes long. So I'll just, let's see here if this will work. With the sound, I don't know.
Seraphine, don't ever be ashamed of what you are. Be proud that you are Indian and hold your head up high. I guess that's all what he's been trying to say through all these years. Okanagan might be only 280 miles from Vancouver, but when you're an Indian, it seems an awful lot farther than that.
Sure. I'm just going to say a few things into the microphone. My name is Jonathan Bartlett, statement gatherer, and we've also got a health support worker in the room, and her name is Carrie Reed. And it's September 20th, 2013. We're in Vancouver, BC. And here's the number that we're going to have on the file is 2011522. Can you state your name, please?
My name is Seraphine Stewart.
Okay. And Sophie, you've been informed, understood, and signed the consent form?
Yes, I have.
Excellent. So, would you like me to prompt you with questions, or do you want to go straight into it?
Well, maybe I could just hear a couple of your questions and then we'll see where we're going.
Sure. You are a survivor
Yes, I am.
and an international or intergenerational survivor as well.
Yes, that's right.
Do you have many memories of your life before school?
A little, yeah.
What do you remember? What was it like?
Before school, I didn't go there till I was 8 years old to the Kamloops Indian Residential School. Yeah, so those would be the two questions to start with, or?
Yeah, I just want to get an idea of what life was like before you went to the school.
Life was very happy. It was very, before 8 years old, all I can remember is it was very happy. We did a lot of fishing along the creek. We did a lot of gathering berries with my grandmother. We did a lot of, we had a lot of family gatherings, and it was always at my grandmother's place. And those were happy times, I remember. My grandmother, Matilda Charters, yeah. So, were those the kind of questions you're going to ask? Otherwise, I could start from somewhere else.
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So this particular document was shot on location in 5 different places. So back in 1967, there was a semi-large production crew of 5 people, and they traveled with my mom from Spachman, which is where we're all from, my family and I. And that's where the footage was in the very beginning of the graveyard. That's in Spachman. They traveled to Kamloops to the residential school and filmed on location there. They were in Victoria, which is part of the cityscape that you saw, and Vancouver, as well as Cuba Island. So, I mean, it's taken some time, you know, from 2009 to 2015 to create that work. It took that amount of time to do this, and many iterations, as I said, took place while making it. So I thought, you know, this piece in its totality is about 39 minutes in length, with the juxtaposition of how it's edited. I wish I could show it to you, the whole iteration, or the whole piece, but I thought just a snippet of it was good. I am tired, I'm sorry, it's hitting me. But I thought I would share Seraphine, as well as another project that, let's see here, called Truth to Material. And this particular work also, just as long as, I mean, it's longer than Seraphine in terms of the outcome and how long it's taken to create this body of work. I'm still working on this project right now. It's part of my PhD work in Vienna. And this particular body of work started in 2006 when I was attending Emily Carr Institute of Art and Design. And it was there that I was introduced to this writer by a friend, a dear friend of mine, Vendula. And I was finishing my BFA in photography at Emily Carr. I won the Bill Reed Scholarship Award. And with this amount of money, I thought, okay, hearing about Karl May, this writer who wrote Wild West novels in Germany in the early 1900s, I was curious about his legacy because it's so vast and it's quite loaded. I bought a plane ticket to Germany in 2006 as an undergrad and traveled all the way to this small town where he was born and raised called Hohenstein-Ernstthal. And it was there that I learned more about his writing, his legacy, and to this day, basically, his contribution and what he's created or helped create is this culture club of sorts of people who appropriate Indigenous culture from North America. And so I was curious about this legacy, and studying photography, I went with my medium format camera and I took a bunch of photos of what I was witnessing. I was introduced to a culture club called the Band of Broken Arrows, and to this day they still exist. But basically they come together and they dress up as Native people from Turtle Island. And it's a very difficult body of work. So I started in 2006. I graduated then from Emily Carr. I went back in 2007 to meet up with the group again. I had to take a long break because I wasn't sure how to deal with the material. But the idea was just to find out why they do what they do. And also because it was so shocking to me that this was happening, I also was wondering why they're still doing it and are they ever going to stop? So because I study photography and I was printing the images in the color darkroom, you know, the images that you're seeing now are images that I've collected throughout the years. And I wasn't sure how to display it or how to talk about it. And it took years after, when I went back to Germany in 2019 and I revisited the group, that it's become this other language now in terms of photography. So rather than printing it and framing it and putting it on a wall, I then have created these exhibitions where for me it reclaims a certain agency that I lose, a certain energy that I lose when making the work. So within these installations, it's quite healing. Within these installations, the photographs are arranged in 4 different sizes, and they're displayed on the floor and printed on vinyl. This is an exhibition at the Nanaimo Art Gallery from 2019. So this gives you an example of what it looks like with the photographs on the floor. This is a dress that was gifted to me by one of the people that I've met in my research. And it was made for me in 2007 by someone named Stefan. So when he met me in 2007, at the time I didn't have a German translator, and my German is not really that great. So in the loss of translation in this moment of meeting this group, he thought I was from the Nez Perce tribe. So in my description I said, I'm from Okanagan Syilx Nation, we're neighbors to the Nez Perce. He heard Nez Perce. So throughout the next year, 2007 to 2008, he made me this dress by hand. It is buckskin, real buckskin that he's made. It's hand beaded. And so he waited for me for 5 years to gift this dress to me. And I didn't show up. As I said, I was there in 2007 and I went back in 2019. And then he eventually gave this dress away. So I returned in 2019 and he got the dress back and gifted it to me in person. So it's a complicated body of work. I show the gifts that have been given to me, the dress. There's an arm cuff as well that's associated to this installation and exhibition and research. And a video that's connecting this gifting of the arm cuff. There it is. And this exhibition is at the MoCA in Toronto from a few years back. I don't know if this will... Okay. And then just more iterations from the Kunsthal Charlottenburg in Copenhagen. And I wanted to show you a video from my experience and what I've been working on. Just see here. Okay, so sorry, I'm having difficulty with this. Hi. I'm just trying to find it. It's not showing up, unfortunately, so I'm just wondering because it's just bringing this up, so it just disappeared. Okay, here, and press space. No, that's not it. It's quite clear. Okay. Okay. Now it's stuck. Oops, okay. I guess it's, we lost the PowerPoint. It just, somehow, the media is not. Okay. I don't know what to do because it's really blocked. I don't know what to do. I mean, I have multiple windows. Okay, okay. Okay, so let's try this. Let's see if this works. All right, let's...
Way Do you want me to take a picture with you and them?
Maybe eventually. Maybe later. Yeah, yeah.
Wer von euch möchte, kommt alle? Dann kommt mal her, bildet mal hier wie so eine Reihe. Das ist in a line.
Oh, what? We go where?
Over here.
Here, in a line? Okay.
It's kind of honor dance. And very old style one, so they don't do this powwow steps, but on spot. And afterwards, the honoring part is not just the dancing, but the kind of counting coup on you.
Oh, okay. I think I understand.
You don't understand?
I think I get it.
Okay, so you have to stand in a row.
Okay, so we're all gonna be in a row, like how we're here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Tania is Cheyenne Dogman.
Okay.
You know, it was a warrior society, and they got a taboo. If something fell down, they were to touch it again, so it has to be given away. And in our parade, we got another society, the Elkhorn Scraper Society, and they are our helpers to give things we lose. We finished the parade, so no Elkhorn Scrapers left, but someone lost his bracelet.
The cuff.
The cuff, yeah. For the, maybe it's for your neck or what.
So, this body of work is, as I said, part of my PhD practice, and it's hopefully something I can talk more about when we're in a discussion together. Last week I finished the second year of my PhD, and it was from there I went to Berlin, and then Berlin to here, or Vienna to Berlin, and then Berlin to here. And I literally just arrived, not yesterday, but the day before, and I'm tired, so I'm usually more articulate than this, but I'm very honored to be here and to share this work, and hopefully we'll come together in a discussion we have. But just to say that this particular research that I've been doing since 2006 is ongoing, and for me, I guess within my art practice in general, it is really about finding the truth in archives, within my family's history, how other cultures perceive Indigenous cultures, and so So I'm just hoping that we can have a further discussion about this, and I could probably be more articulate then, I hope. Okay, I think I'm just gonna end it there. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you.